I just finished watching both pre-fight media day press conferences, and I even messed up saying that intro because I'm like, usually I watched every single pre-fight press conference and media day for the entire card for UFC 312, but at the time of recording this video, and I don't know if they are going to end up making more media day press conferences, at the time of recording this video, I waited a whole day. We only have Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis to talk about. So today, I listened to both of their interviews, and I wanted to dive into their mindset and their headspace as much as we possibly can to get a gauge on how they're feeling. Are they ready for the fight? Even if you want to look at this from a betting perspective, like last time around, it actually ended up working out because I didn't like Adesanya's vibe, and that actually swayed me away from betting on him. I did not bet on Imavov, but I was planning on betting on Israel Adesanya. So I personally find this stuff helpful. Plus, I'm a big fan of the sport. I would like to know this stuff anyways. We're going to get into it in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Guys, sorry for the long intro there. Over a minute. All right, let's talk about Sean Strickland. So, of course, with the press conference with Sean Strickland, there isn't exactly a ton that you can take away. One thing that I'll mention because we're talking about him is it appears that he has staph infection. Okay, there's been pictures of him all over the place, and it seems like he has it on his arm. And to be honest with you, that kind of turns me away from even thinking that Sean Strickland can win. But when you have a fight that's to the level of Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis, either guy can win. I don't think that we really have to dive into too much of the headspace of both these guys, but I do think that there is a big difference in Sean Strickland right now because you can just tell that Sean Strickland is absolutely loving his stardom right now. He is coming even more with like, and it's weird because it's Sean Strickland. He wants to come off as like some sort of intellectual, right? Like, you know, talking about what's right for the world. And what's crazy, and this is the problem, I'm not even going to dive into Sean Strickland's mindset on this because it has no effect on the fight, but he has like really good foundations for things, but then like he talks as if like everybody should listen to him. You know, that's where he turns me off a little bit. Plus, you can tell he makes fun of all these influencers and he is just loving all of the attention. So honestly, and this is a little bit of a stretch, of course, at some point, Sean Strickland is going to get overly involved with all this stuff, going on podcasts, you know, there was even at the press conference, he said, that'd be a good clip. Why don't you post that? Like, Sean Strickland probably would not have said that a few years ago. He's getting involved in the influencer culture a little bit more, and something like that could always take away from his training, his fighting ability. The only, like, hard thing that we had from Sean Strickland, because he was just going off the entire time, right? But that is important to note, you know, like, that could always affect training, but somebody asked Sean Strickland what is going to be different with him this time around. And he kind of blew the question off, and I was like, uh-oh, there we go. Is he just like going to go into the fight with the mindset like, I already beat him, I'm going to beat him again? Like, it was close enough where you should be improving. But while he did dismiss the question, he also mentioned that he goes, I should be better. I train with the best guys in the world every single day. So I'm like, you know what? That is a good point. I'm sure that you're going to evolve eventually. Plus, I didn't really take a deep dive into that, but from the looks of it, Sean Strickland looks in a little bit better shape, but then again, the staph infection is also a little bit worrying. So again, very difficult to dissect Sean Strickland because the interview wasn't necessarily about fighting, but there are a couple things that we could pull. But I do want to talk about Dricus du Plessis, and we got the complete opposite effect, but it also is a little bit more of what we're used to getting from Dricus du Plessis: class, normal, understanding, respectful. He was talking about how he was showing a ton of respect towards Sean Strickland and his skill set and talking about what an amazing fighter that he is. And he keeps saying that he needs to evolve. One of the things we were talking about is whether or not Dricus du Plessis is going to skip the game plan. But he goes, I did win the fight, and what I need to do is do what I've done. He was a little bit vague. He said, I need to do what I've done, but I need to do it better. I still need to improve. It seems like Dricus du Plessis is way more focused on improving compared to Sean Strickland, but at the same time, like, it's one of those fights where I don't think that this video is going to make a huge difference about it. It's just a few possibilities, okay? Dricus is in a fantastic headspace. He understands the challenge that he's up against. He understands that Sean Strickland, and he said this, that he is the second best middleweight in the world, and right behind Dricus du Plessis. He thinks that he's better than Adesanya, Chimaev. He thinks that he is the next best fighter, and every single time that he shows up, he is expecting to fight the best fighter in the world, so he needs to be on his game. He needs to improve. Dricus was very real about Sean's skill set. He was very real about his own skill set, and they even talked about, like, I don't remember exactly what it said, but one of the guys were like, do you think your fighting style is ugly and weird to watch? Dricus goes, I think it's effective. And it's true, it's effective. Like, he's taking this very, very seriously. Do I think that we'll see some improvement in Dricus du Plessis? Possibly. He's still, I think he fights ugly, but it is effective. He's absolutely right about it. The point being, he's extremely real. And it shows like in the other stuff that we've seen recently, because he reacted to that clip with Adesanya Whitaker kind of making fun of the way he fights. He understands that. He understands how goofy it is, but at the end of the day, he knows that he gets a job done. He understands what he does is effective. I like that he's real about it. I like that even if you want to engage in trash talk, that he doesn't let that get to him. They talked about a lot of people making fun of the way he fights online. He goes, it works. I'm the champion of the world. And he, like, truthfully does not seem bothered by it. I think he's locked in. I think he's ready to go. And I think that Sean Strickland is really enjoying himself at these media days. I think that Sean Strickland is a changing human being a little bit. Dricus du Plessis is there to remain a champion. Another thing, like, sorry, I should have mentioned the Sean Strickland part, but they were also asking if he cared about the belt, and long story short, not really, but that also is probably a lie. It's tough to break this one down. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The point being, Sean Strickland is coming in. He's probably serious about the fight. He's probably really, like, obviously, he's probably trained very, very hard, but Dricus du Plessis is a lot more locked in, a lot more focused, and appears to be a lot more ready for the fight. Let me know what you thought about everything down below. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in the betting guide for this card, then why don't you check out this video right here. I would love to have you over there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care.